All right, Lab Coat Agents, we've got Dirk Zeller with us, and he's got some amazing stuff for us today. I'm excited. This is my first time actually talking to him. So how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm excited to be here. Great to connect with you and the LCA family.
Nice, man. And you're a coach, right? Dirk, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I founded Real Estate Champions 20 years ago. And so we do a lot of coaching training. We do a lot online virtual classroom training.
Okay.
So we do a lot. We work with a lot of teams. I mean, 67 of the top 250 on the Wall Street Journal list, we've helped get there. So
wow.
We do a lot with teams. We do a lot with individual agents. So good,
all right,
good fun time.
Well, today we're going to be talking about doubling and tripling your lead conversion ratios. That's exciting to me because, dude, that's where the money is.
Fortune is in the follow-up. The path is in the math.
That's right. That's right. Now, if you're following us on Facebook here, at the very bottom of the post, there's a little link that you can download from Dirk. Dirk, what is that they could download?
It's a workbook we've built and are sharing some of our best scripts and dialogues. They don't have to feverishly write them down. We've taken care of it for them. So listen, we'll probably do some role playing between you and me and get them to understand how to approach these prospects a little bit differently so they're very effective in getting face to face.
No, I love it. All right, man. So
I saw you yesterday and the stat you used was spot on. 72% of the buyers buy through the first stage and they meet with you. That's the NAR stat. The game, everybody, is getting face to face. That's the game.
And you think that's what a lot of agents fear? What do you think that's a big issue for agents?
I think there's a couple of things. One is you have to have the core four in lead conversion. You have to have the right system. You have to have the right skills. You have to have the right strategy. In other words, text and email and call frequency. And you have to have sales skills. And I've been in the real estate business 30 years. I have to tell you, sales skills are worse today than I've ever seen in 30 years. We don't think we're salespeople. We don't think there's a sales strategy or a sales process. And everybody, sales is just persuasion. It's persuading somebody to take an action that's beneficial to them or to get them to do it quicker. That's all it is.
Got it. And so we're going to work on this persuasion. Is this where you see the doubling and the tripling take effect?
Yeah, it's absolutely. If you've got that core four, you got the right strips, the right strategy, the right system, right? Your IDX system, whether that's Boomtown, Commissioning, Real Geeks, etc. Firepoint. I mean, there's lots of great ones out there. Are you using good system? Are you losing good scripts? Are you driving them to the face-to-face? The issue is getting face-to-face, everybody.
That is the big issue, man. So let me get my phone so I can answer some questions here so I don't switch you off. I answer a lot of the questions on my phone here through Facebook. So let's get started, man. Tell me what you would consider to be step number one for us.
Step number one is focus on having a conversation and getting beyond what I'd call the brush off. The instantaneous response. Hey, I'm just looking. I'm not ready for a real estate agent, yada, 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 yada.
All that good stuff.
You gotta get beyond the brush off.
Okay, perfect.
So as an example, if somebody said to me, hey, I'm just looking, I would say, hey, great, Tristan, I'm assuming you're in the early information gathering stage. Would that be correct?
That is correct. I'm just browsing. I'm just looking. I'm not going to buy anything for at least 8 months or so.
Hey, that's excellent. Good for you. You might be interested to know that a real good agent can add a lot of value in that early just looking around stage. I can direct you some websites and some resources that you're likely not aware of that would be really valuable to you. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's no pressure, yeah, definitely.
Hey, no problem at all. Hey, can I ask you what caught your eye about that particular home that you inquired on?
Well, I noticed that it was a list of the least expensive homes. And I thought, well, you know, I am looking to buy my first home. So that's what caught my eye.
Okay, great. So you're a first-time home buyer and just kind of searching around.
You got it. That's what caught my eye.
Okay, great. So is that particular home in the Westlake area, which doesn't have a lot of first-time homes, I know.
That's true.
But is that the area you're looking for?
Yeah, definitely the Westlake Village here. This is where we primarily want to be. The schools are good, so we're always looking for the schools for our kids and for resale value. I mean, that's what we hear, right? Isn't that good?
Absolutely. And again, in that early stage that you're in, what I really want to do is make sure you avoid some of the mistakes that an early stage buyer like yourself makes. Hey, why don't we book a quick appointment? There's no pressure, there's no obligation, but let's meet at the Starbucks right there in Westlake Village, and let me give you some information about the market, where it's trending to, so you avoid some of the mistakes. Do you have some time later this week?
Yeah, but I mean, do we have to meet, or can we just maybe, like, you could just send me the stuff online first and then we can kind of go from there?
The key is walking somebody through the marketplace so they really understand it and where it's trending to and where it's likely to be 6 or 8 months from now. So why don't we book a quick appointment? I guarantee it'll be valuable for you. And certainly I'd be happy to buy you a cup of coffee. Is there a time later this week?
Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense. Yeah, let me see here. It's just me. I don't have to bring my wife, right?
No, I'm happy to meet with you, but if she would like to learn about the marketplace as well, be delighted to meet with her as well. I'm okay to buy 2 cups of coffee.
Okay. All right, I can do a Saturday morning if that's good with you.
Perfect. How does 10 o'clock, or should we do it toward noontime?
I think 10 o'clock is best.
Perfect. Great. I got you down. I'm putting you in my calendar. Should I send you an e-bite? That way you can drop it in your phone real easy.
Oh, you know what? That would be great if you could do that. That way
What's your email?
up. It's Tristan at labcodeagents.com.
Okay, boom. Now, everybody, hang on here. Right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, Tristan, for this appointment to be really valuable for you and so I can help you best, and now I'm going to probe his situation. Hey, let me get a little bit more information about your situation. Now I'm going to qualify him.
While you still have them on the phone after you set the appointment. Okay.
Right, I don't want to run out to a non-qualified appointment, but I'm going to get an appointment, and then I may find out, he's got a stinky FICO score.
Got it.
Or he's not able to do what he thinks he can do. And I might say, hey, you know what, Tristan, in my excitement to meet with you, I think I got the cart in front of the horse. Here's what I would recommend. And I undo the appointment.
Got it. All right. So then
think about it, Tristan. You're an expert in this. What's the hardest thing for an agent to get?
The hardest thing for agent to get is the actual appointment to sit down with them, to go
exactly
and meet with them. I think
Right.
that's the hardest
Okay.
thing.
So I'm going for that. I'm focused on that. I'm not focused as much on qualifying the prospect.
Got it. So first step, and this is for the audience. We've got quite a few people on right now. I'm going to ask them a question so they can answer it there underneath. It's going to pop up as a poll. I just published it, and it's asking what the biggest challenge you have is. Is it setting up a meeting or setting up a meetup, qualifying them, or maybe you have a challenge with bad numbers from leads, or is the lead just looking? I want to see what people are going to respond to that, and then I'll post the answers as soon as people start. But dude, I love how you went for the appointment, and it was so easy, nonchalant, non-threatening, and then you went into qualifying them. And then if you decided that they weren't really ready at that point, then you just undid the appointment, which was brilliant.
Correct.
I love that.
We get so focused on qualifying a prospect. That's what we've been trained. That's what we've been trained for years. And we get that in front of everything else when the truth is the most important thing is to get face to face.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The buyers buy through the first agent they meet with.
So tell me, if somebody is looking down the road and they're not quite ready yet, do you still suggest that we meet them up, or what would your strategy be at that point?
You know, I think everybody's got to look at their own strategy. If I could get somebody to come into my office and make it easy, in other words, I'm already in my office, and I can do a 10 or 15 minute or 30-minute consultation, and I could help them, I do that. If they're coming to me, they're walking into my office, and I can help them, absolutely. The question you have to ask yourself as an agent is, can you build value? Can you sell value? Can you convince somebody that it's different for you? It's a different experience. Everybody, property feed, IDX feed, it's a commodity. Everybody's got it. Nobody's different in that respect. The issue, it's a commodity is like bananas. You don't care what the price of a banana is. Doesn't matter what it's Dole or Chiquita. The brand doesn't matter. It's price. I don't want to compete on price. I want to compete on value. In absence of value, price is the only equation.
So then tell me, how do you attempt to create this value if you have them on the phone and you haven't met them for the first time? Let's just go with that route first.
Okay. So a couple of quick things you can do in terms of value. Firstly, off-market opportunities, private listing portfolio always works because people want something they can't see, can't have.
That's true.
That's one.
Yep.
Scarcity. The second is authority. The two biggest sellers, and I'm not just talking about real estate, I'm talking about sales in general. Everybody, and I got to just show you this. I mean, guys, sales is sales. I understand. I wrote the book on selling with Tom Hopkins.
That's right.
I wrote Telephone Sales for Dummies that has sold hundreds of thousands of copies. I understand sales. Sales is about scarcity and about authority. If you're framing everything through your authority and your scarcity or scarcity of the product, they're more motivated to work with you. Does that make sense?
Totally, man. Totally. It makes total sense. I'm publishing the results here. Most people are having a challenge setting up the meeting. That's what we're noticing. So that's exactly
some of that is in sales skills, some of that is in scripting. As I said, everybody, grab this workbook. The role play I just went through with Tristan, is exactly in the workbook like that.
And the workbook, for those of you who tuned in a little late, it's in the post. Click on the See More section, and then it's at the very bottom of it. And if you're in the webinar portion of it, Dirk posted it at the beginning, so it's right there. You can just click on it and download it. So
let me give you one other thing, everybody. A couple of quick things that will clean up your dialogue and engagement from the very beginning. First, a lot of scripts you see in the real estate industry, one of the first lines they teach you to say is, and how are you today? They think that creates engagement. Now, put yourself in the prospect's shoes. If I called you, any of you that's on the training today, and I said, hey, this is Dirk with Real Estate Champions, how are you today? Or, hi, this is Dirk with Zillow, how are you today? What's your instantaneous reaction?
I'm like, oh, another sales call.
Salesperson,
Cool.
right? Is that the reaction you want from the prospect?
No, man, not at all. So tell me what to say instead, Dirk.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things you can say. You can open with indicating to them that, hey, I want you to know this is a customer service call, not a sales call, so you can completely relax.
Okay.
Hey,
like
Tristan,
that.
this is Dirk Zeller with the Real Estate Champions. Hey, you're registered on our website. Thanks very much for doing that. I want you to know this is a customer service call, not a sales call, so you can completely relax.
Okay. I like that. That's interesting.
Right? I don't want to get their guard up. I want to bring their guard down. I want to have an open and authentic conversation.
Yeah.
Right? I want engagement. Here's the other thing, everybody, and I love this, and I'm just sharing this with you. I make a game out of this. I teach our clients to make a game out of it. Buy a little 5-minute sandglass timer from Amazon. When they say hello, turn the thing over. Your goal is to get the turnover, meaning that all the sand is run down from one side into the other, and you get to turn it over. I'm guaranteeing you, if you have a 5-minute conversation, you're dramatically improving your odds to get an appointment.
Interesting. All right. So, Dirk, take me through the whole customer service thing, just so I understand it. Like, you call me, you say, hey, I'm Dirk with Real Estate Masters, and I'm calling because this is a customer service call, so you can relax. And then what follows after that? If I say, oh, thanks, Dirk, what's up?
It sounds like you're just starting your search. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're kind of in the early information gathering stages.
Yeah, I just started, so I'm not super serious yet.
Hey, no problem. Can I ask you, have you seen any properties that caught your eye?
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple here and there that I liked.
Okay. What was it about those that kind of caught your eye?
Well, we definitely wanted 2 stories, so that caught our eye. And then the curb appeal of one was really nice as a corner house. So.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So you're seeing things that you like on the market. Is that correct? Or are you seeing things that you like and then you inquire on them and they're gone?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to that because we just started.
Okay, great. Well, in that early information gathering stage, and I can go straight to the script that I used earlier.
Okay.
Right?
I'm going to go to
Go right down that pathway.
Got it. All right. That was my next question. I said, at what point in your customer service call are you going to attempt to make an appointment? Right.
I'm going to try to stay as broad as I can for as long as I can, gathering information, and then listen for an opening.
Got it.
Let me put it this way. In any sales call, everybody, there will be what I call a threshold moment. A threshold moment where that prospect gives you a problem or a challenge or a frustration that they are having. They aren't seeing anything they like. They're just starting out. They don't understand the marketplace. Well, we don't understand about financing yet. I mean, any problem they bring up is an opportunity for you to provide a solution. What's the solution?
What's the solution?
Face to face.
All right. So with that, on the face-to-face, do you ever suggest that anybody meet up through technology, like through Zoom, through what like we're doing now?
Gosh, it'd be great.
All right.
Quite frankly, yeah, absolutely. I'd rather, but if I'm looking at this, okay, let's look at the hierarchy, everybody. Gold standard, face-to-face in the office. If you can't get that, face-to-face at a neutral site. If you can't get that, face-to-face at a property. If you can't get that, face-to-face at Zoom or some kind of technology option. Last option, phone-to-phone appointment, specific time, specific place.
Perfect. Perfect.
Right? 5 options.
Yeah.
Downsell.
I love that,
Didn't
dude.
get that. Okay. Little more dialogue. Ask for that. Didn't get that. And everybody, nothing works 100% of the time. You're not going to have 10 conversations even if you're great at scripting and have 10 face-to-face this.
That's true.
Okay? And it doesn't work that way. In fact, let me tell you, age-old biblical principle, the law of the sower, right? Farmer goes out to sow seeds. Seeds go on hard ground. They go on thorny soil. They go on shallow soil. They go on good soil. 1 in 4. Even the farmers got 1 in 4. Okay? But the good soil returns 30, 60, 100 fold. Don't get wigged out if you're 1 in 4. Guess what? That's the historic biblical ratio.
That's true. You know, you never put that into perspective. A lot of agents come in and think, well, you know, I should be converting every single one, or what's happening here? It's a really good point you bring up, Dirk, because people beat themselves up super quickly. There's a question here.
But Tristan, let me make you one more point. If it wasn't 1 in 4 or 2 in 4 or whatever the ratio, it wouldn't be sales. It'd be order taking, and we'd make a lot less money.
That's so true. You're right. You're right about that. All right. Question from Joanne here. What were some of the pluses you mentioned or others of what a really good agent can help you with even at this point?
You can do a market trends report and show them where the inventory, the absorption rate, the remaining months of inventory. Everybody looks at the the micro of the marketplace, meaning actual homes in neighborhood. That's like microeconomics, where you learn that in college Econ 101. The macro of the marketplace is a market trends report. What is the overall marketplace doing? Are the inventory going up or down? Right? Is the pool of buyers going up or down? What's happening at the 35,000 foot level of the marketplace, not just at ground level of this home sold or that home sold?
Makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Does that answer your question, Joanne? I think she's in the webinar portion of this, so that's good. All right, so tell me, Dirk, people have the most challenge meeting up a person, even after they met them at an open house, or if they met them somewhere already, just reconnecting with them and making that that bond a little stronger so that they'll use you is still a big challenge. So how would you go about reconnecting with somebody that you met at an open house or that you connected a while back with? What would be a strategy that you could give?
Couple of things. I really believe, everybody, you should study your market and create what I call a theme for the month. In other words, a 30-second elevator speech on what the market is doing. And then you deliver that theme for the month with every person you talk to, every person you interact, past client sphere, open house. Let's go to the open house example, Tristan, that you shared. Number one rule, everybody, of an open house is you got somebody face-to-face, book the appointment. Get face-to-face with them for a consultation. Don't let them walk out the door without asking for an appointment, and now you're in lead follow-up.
Got it.
Get them face-to-face again.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge challenge that the industry has, where they have an opportunity right then, but they just don't take it. There's a fine balance too, though, between that pressure that we don't want to make that client feel and actually closing them, right? And I think some agents have too much of a problem with that. How do you suggest that they get better at that part of it?
It's about value. If you show your authority, your knowledge, if you show to the prospect, as an example, hey, just so you know, Bob and Mary, the inventory is pushed up by about 12% in the last 60 days, so selection is better for you as a buyer than it was this time last year or in the fourth quarter. There's a real opportunity here, I really believe. Do you have some time later this week where I can go over some specific numbers and really educate you about the marketplace?
All right, so you're approaching it completely different than most agents at this point, because you're not saying, hey, well, I've got some properties that I can show you, right? And that's where everybody's throwing out the same thing. You're coming in as an expert, and
Correct.
You're able to translate the market to them in ways that they can't. And I thought that was key. And I think more agents need to do that part of it. That was really good, man. I like that part.
Well, and you're right, Tristan, and it's great that you recognize that, because properties are a commodity, everybody. They will be from this point forward. It's never going to go back the other direction.
Nope.
CTR and all the different things out there, properties are a commodity. What your expert knowledge, analysis, and strategy, that's not a commodity.
Yeah, I agree, because everybody can interpret it differently. We're all experts at slightly different things too. So tell me, Dirk, how do agents, what would be the first step to dramatically increase the number of appointments that, let's say, I could book on a weekly, monthly basis? What would be that one thing you could say, hey, if you were going to do one thing, let's just focus on this first and you could do the rest later?
Market knowledge and asking. Using some stats in your conversation and then pushing beyond the reflex no that you're always going to get. So
practicing what to respond on that reflex no, because everybody says, I'm just looking. That's like the common thing everybody says.
Right. And that's exactly what it is. And I'm going to say, gosh, I'm certainly understand that you're probably in the early information gathering stage. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Tristan. It looks like you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 4,500 square foot home in the Westlake Village area at $900,000 that's real fixed up. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, that's about right. Something we can move into.
Great. So what if you found that I mean, really great condition, awesome property, but it came on the marketplace at $850. What would you do?
Oh, I'd be super excited about that. 850.
Okay, besides being super excited, what would you do?
I'd probably want to put in an offer.
Okay, great. Why don't we book an appointment, because those type of opportunities, I mean, they're gone in a matter of moments.
All right, now you're using.
Why don't we book a quick appointment? Let me see what I can do to help you find that rare opportunity.
I love that. All right. So
Everybody, we're going fishing.
we are.
Got to put a prospect in what I call an if situation. If you got this, what would you do?
That's really
Not, okay, let me pause here. Not would you buy today? Are you following me, everybody? Would you buy the car today if I did this? No, that's sleazeball selling.
I love
Okay,
that.
that's what they're fearful of.
Yeah, of course. That's what everybody's scared of.
Okay, but don't do that.
Yeah. No,
Would
not
you
at all.
want to consider it? Is that something you'd be interested in? Would you want to evaluate that situation? Not would you buy. That's a sales overreach. You've overreached the relationship. You've reached to the phone and breathed commission breath all over them, and they're going to run the other direction.
They definitely are, man. That's a really good point. I love that. So here's a question from Joanne again. What's a script that you use for I have an agent already, or I'm working with someone already?
Okay, firstly, everybody, let's dissect this in two parts. One would be, I would never ask the question that most agents do, which is, are you working with another agent? Working is a horrible word. It's a horrible word. What does working mean? I want to know if they're committed. So change one word here. Are you committed to another agent? You follow me, everybody? Because working is worthless. Could be mean they're getting property matches from somebody. Could mean anything. You want to know if they're committed.
Yeah,
I
or
don't
if,
care if they're working.
or if they've seen other properties with other agents too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now, in terms of they have an agent relationship, if they're saying, hey, I have an agent, hey, good for you. Glad that somebody's doing an outstanding job. I always love to hear that. Who's doing that outstanding job for you? 8 times out of 10, you will hear dead space.
And is that because they're lying? They just wanted to kind of push you off by saying we're working with somebody or we're committed?
For a portion of them, yes.
Got it.
No, it's a way to get on the phone from this prospect. Secondly, yes, some of them are working, but they're not committed yet.
Dude, that is a good script. I like. Is that inside of the scripts that you've given us there at the link?
Yes, it actually is.
I love that one. That's a good one. I'm going to send that one to my agents. I love that you said, "Oh, that's awesome." I love hearing that people are working with amazing agents. I love that, dude. That's so
But
good.
the minute you have that pregnant pause in the conversation, you know there's not commitment.
Yeah, of course. I'll be like, it's that lady that, oh, damn it, I don't remember.
she's, and I would never say this, everybody, but I'm thinking, well, obviously she's distinguished herself.
Yeah, exactly. I love it, man. All right. So what other things do you find are a challenge for agents when they're trying to set the appointment? What do you think?
I think one of the big things is the long-term buyers, and I've got it in the workbook, everybody, and there's a visual. It's the last page in this workbook. This is the pattern you want to execute, and it's right in the workbook. right?
Yep.
First thing I want to do is I want to ask a question, right? So let's go back to Tristan as an example. We were role playing before. Tristan, I would ask you, you're 8 months away. I might ask, hey, Tristan, can I understand, is that 8 months time frame more for kind of personal reasons for you and your family, or is it more based on marketplace reasons why you're waiting 8 months?
Got it. I think we're waiting until our kids get out of school. So, we're waiting it for probably the beginning of summer.
Great. And that's fabulous. So really it's more for personal reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me pause here, everybody, and we'll jump back into role playing in a moment. But it's a lot easier for me to convince Tristan of marketplace reasons to take action now as opposed to personal. He gave me a legitimate reason why he wants to wait, because he wants to wait till the kids are out of school. Who am I to try to convince him against his personal reasons? And in fact, if I try to do that, I'm probably building a wall between me and him.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm going to leave that one alone and just be totally fine and cool that the timing is better for him. Now I'm going to probe a little bit more, but then I'm going to go to step 2. And step 2 is I'm going to check with commitment. And that would be, I just asked Tristan, hey, Kristen, can I ask you, do you have an agent in mind whose services you might use when the timing is right for you?
No, we don't. We don't have it. That's a good question. No, I don't have anybody.
I'm full of that, among other things.
Oh, by the way, I love that. That was funny. Dude.
But everybody check for commitment. I don't need to follow up with him for 8 months to find out his brother-in-law is a real estate agent.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, next, he's rocky soil.
Yeah. And then if you start working with these people or people like that without qualifying them, that's what drains us in this business. And that's eventually why a lot of agents out there say, well, you know what, this is just too hard. And they fail out of the business. So
right.
That's a really good point, man. Yeah.
It's also confidence. I mean, you've been successful in this business for a long time, Tristan. I mean, there's a confidence aspect. We beat ourselves up, right? We have disappointing things happen. People are disloyal. I mean, but that's why we get paid what we get paid, everybody.
Yeah. And you made a good point earlier in the webinar when you mentioned that 1 out of every 4 is possibly the number of the people that we can actually meet. And in some cases it may even be lower. So I think you as an agent, you need to take a look at that and really see, hey, look, this is reality over here versus the idea that a lot of us come in with or think that we're going to lock in 100% or even 90 or 80% of these people. It's just not the case. So coming in with
you know why that it is?
Tell me.
It's because we don't drop enough in the top end of the funnel from our effort, right? I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to dial for 3.5 hours a day. But it does mean, hey, listen, if I have 2 conversations a day overall and I'm working 250 days a year, I'm only talking to 500 people. It's not enough to do a decent amount of business. The ratios won't work.
You're right. That's it. That's the key, man. The more
you could be the best salesperson in the world, and those ratios won't work. I'm good. I can't make that ratio work. Talking to 500 people in a year and wanting to sell 75 homes, 100 homes, or 150 homes a year, like I used to do.
I agree. Well, I downloaded the script, by the way, so I could follow with you. And there's one that I like here. It's on page
Just one?
7. No, well, one that I'm looking. How's this? Let me rephrase that. There's one that I'm looking at that I really like on page 7.
Okay.
And it's script number 2, and it gives option 1 and option 2. And I thought, I've never approached it this way, Dirk, and I love it, man. It says, are you willing to invest a few minutes to broaden your knowledge and opportunities? Or number 2, do you have a few minutes so you can gain a more valuable perspective on the real estate market?
The Westlake real estate market.
That I love option 2. That's just my style. For me, I'd probably add the word dude, right? But other than that, I love it. I think that's awesome, dude. I just sent that over to, as we're talking, I just sent that over to 3 of my agents.
Well, and here's the thing, everybody. There is not one script that you can start at the top and go to the bottom unless you have somebody like Tristan that is downloading the script and walking along with you. Excuse me, Mr. Prospect. Hang on a second. Let me email you the script that I'm working from so you can follow along with me. I mean, that's not going to happen.
Dude.
So you've got to have some branching, some options, a few little variations, so it's conversational. It has to be, because it is a conversation.
I agree. I have a couple of questions from the audience. They want to know where the script is. So if you're in the webinar, Dirk posted it to the very top of it. We'll repost it at the bottom. And then if you're following along in the Facebook group, which most of you are, I see that, you can find it at the bottom of the post. And it's a link there. It'll just ask you for some information, and then you can download it. And I just downloaded it as I was following along with Dirk here. Dirk, dude, I like this stuff, man. Thank you. I always find that one of the biggest challenges that our industry has, and a fear that's like an unspoken fear of what's holding back a lot of agents, is just knowing what to say.
Yeah.
And you clearly have it written out here, so that if that is a challenge, with a few days of consistent practicing, you can at least get over that fear a little bit.
Sure. And everybody, make scripts your own. Take them, make some adjustment. But my best advice to you in scripting is get a guide, some scripts like I'm providing for you today, edit them. If you want to adjust the style or the delivery, but edit them fully, meaning don't have a script up that you aren't delivering verbatim. Edit the script and then have it in front of you. I mean, I used to have a prospecting station and lead follow-up station in the corner of my office. On one wall was my primary scripts. On the left wall was my objection handling scripts. And I used to stand in front of them. Even though I knew them, I would stand and stare straight at the script.
That's, you know what, that's
and
very
I would step over here when they said, we want to list with a cheaper agent. I'd go over and deliver whatever the objection was. I'd go stand in front of it.
That's awesome. So you knew which one was which.
Right. And I know a lot of people use those books. You can't flip the pages fast enough.
Yeah, I always like to have them right in front of me, even though at the very beginning, I remember when I first started and I had these scripts, I was fumbling. I was like, yeah, you want to list? Oh, and then I felt stupid. I was like, crap. That's going to happen to you at the very beginning. So know that.
Sure. And have a couple of kind of diffusing statements, right? Things that you say that just diffuse the tension.
So can you give us some example of those?
Sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to. Right. Hey, Tristan, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to be of service.
Oh, got it. Got it. All right. So
Right? Hey, I'm honestly just trying to help you.
I'm just, all right. I like that one too.
Right? Any kind of statement that lowers the sales resistance, gives them something, and then you want to bolt on a quick question. You know, what caught your eye about this particular home? Tell me about your situation. Hey, you're a current homeowner. What's the most important thing about the home you live in now? What is that home missing that you're trying to have in a new home? Oh, everybody, write this down. It's not in your script book.
Write this down, guys.
If they give you something that is important to them about the next home, ask them this question. Are there options to create that blank in your current home? Are there options to create that fourth bedroom? Are there options to create that open concept? Can you remodel your home to get this?
Got it.
Everybody, if they can't adjust their home to what they want, guess what you know? These dudes are moving.
They're serious too. You know, Dirk, you made a good point there that some people may or may not have caught. I've been dialing since I started. And one thing that you just did there by asking them that question, it makes them feel like you actually care. Like you're not going for the sale, like you're actually giving them a different option. Like, hey, can this be done in your current home? Because you're in essence saying in my head, because if it can, then why are you buying? Just go fix up your home.
Exactly.
So that's key. Guys, I wrote that down into the comments. So make sure you copy that one at the bottom. That was really good, man. That was really good. I like that. And that would be like, would that be like a bolt on to anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could use that universally. In other words, if I'm getting into the conversation, that one's a perfect insertion type of script, right?
I love it.
Gives you the easy button close.
I need one of those, dude. I need one that says that was really hard and I crushed it. That was really hard and I crushed it. Oh, I love it. All right, man. We've got about 10 minutes. Anything you want to add towards the end? Anything we missed that you wanted to bring up?
Let's do one or two more things.
Shoot.
That 6-step process, I want to finish it for everybody.
Perfect.
So they've got it. Okay. So we did personal marketplace reasons. We checked for commitment. Then I'm going to probe why. Right? Why is this summer better time for you, Tristan? Right? Why is that better for you overall? And then I'm going to provide a what question. So I'm going to do why questions, then what? What makes it a better time? What are you hoping to change from now and then? Everybody, there's two that you really have to ask, and that is, what level of service would be valuable to you between now and then?
Wow. That's super key. Is that in the scripts?
Of course.
Okay, good. I don't have to write it down. That's why I was asking.
No, you don't have to write it down. Okay. What can I do in the interim?
Nice.
Right? I mean, I'm trying to serve everybody.
You are. And those questions.
I'm not just trying to reach through the phone, grab them by the throat, and smash their head into the countertop with a pen in their hand.
Those were the 70s. Come on.
You have verbal judo. Right? Nah.
I love it.
That's old school.
Yeah, that is old school. I love it.
Well, and let's be honest, a lot of the scripts that are still floating around the real estate industry are fruit of the verbal judo's tree.
Dude, tell me about it. Can some of those just already be burnt to death because they suck?
Or lip-sticking pigs.
Come on. Oh, yeah. That's funny. That's funny. Some of you will get that. That's interesting.
And 5, Step 5, everybody. Let me do this real quick. Put them in that if situation, and I gave you some if situation scripts. Like, if the market was shifting in a manner that was likely going to cost you a lot more money, is that something you at least want to be able to define and understand? Not, would you buy now?
Yeah, which is beautiful here. I'm looking at the script now here.
If because the low inventory levels presently would force upward pricing pressure and it might cost you substantially more this fall, would that be something you'd at least want to analyze so you can understand that?
I like it. Good.
Right? I'm not tying to the act of selling them a home tomorrow. I'm tying it to the act of service. I'm tying it to the act that I care about you and I care about helping.
I like it. Yeah, and that the wording that you have on those is exactly what comes out. So it's perfect.
And if you use that approach, value, strategy, good scripts, and be willing to approach enough people, you're guaranteed. I mean, let's be honest, everybody. Honest. This is like one of the easiest businesses in the world to make 100, 200, 300 grand a year in. It really is. Doesn't mean you can sit on your couch and make it. But if you get out and do some solid fundamental stuff and have good scripts and dialogues and approach and be willing to put enough input in the top end, you can make a ton of money.
That's very true, man. It's
I mean,
much
I made $100,000, $103,000 in 1989 in my first year in the business with a 3,200 average commission check.
Wow.
Which just means I'm old.
I was trying to calculate as you were talking. I was like, 1989, 89. I'm just joking, dude. All right. So what's number, what are we looking at now? 6?
6 is most of the conversations are going to stop at 5, right?
Okay.
You're going to go for the appointment. You're going to stop at 5. There's a few that'll go to 6, and 6 is what's the plan? You know, it's when that person says to you, well, we got to save some more money, right? I got to clean up my credit. It's kind of like, great, what's the plan? I mean, they get all excited about, oh gosh, well, we've been working at it for 6 months. We know we need to save $40,000. Hey, that's great. How much have you saved? And they go $500. And I'm like, doing the math in my head. Okay, I think I better call you back in about, 20 years? Because that's about when you'll have saved the money.
Got it. No, and you're right, dude. I like that. And I like that
What's
you have
the plan? Do they have one? Right, it's not a wish. I mean, people don't wish their way into being homeowners.
Well, some do. They just don't get there.
Yeah. It's like 16% of the agents, unfortunately, own a rental property. That should be 86.
That is very true, man. I agree with you on that.
You don't wish your way into owning a bunch of rental properties, everybody.
No, you have a strategy, right? And you stick to it. I agree. Dirk, you've written a few books there. There's one that you're working on right now, or no?
Well, actually, it's done.
It's done. Okay.
In a couple of weeks.
What is it?
I got asked to redo Success for Dummies that Zig Ziglar originally wrote. And so it'll be out April 23rd, Success Habits for Dummies.
And in the Success Habits for Dummies, what is it that you're going to go over? Just like a quick summary.
I go over goal setting, time management. I have 3 chapters on financial wealth and how to become wealthy. I go over health. I go over marriage. kids, business, friendship, new chapters on all those. So it's a very far-reaching success book.
I like that, man. All right. So in regards to Real Estate Champions, that's a company that you have. Is it a coaching company for real estate agents, teams, brokerages? What is that?
We do all of the above. We do brokerages and have a brokerage division. We have a lot of great coaches that work teams and some very good coaches that work with individual agents. The difference is we do a lot of analysis up front. We do behavioral assessment of the client. We do a really strong diagnostic of their business. And then we overlay that and kind of create a blueprint for their business, both short-term and long-term, and coach to the customized blueprint for them.
Do you focus on their strengths, or do you also focus on some weaknesses? What's your strategy on that, just so I understand it?
We do focus on both, but the reality is for most of us, if you're looking at a SWOT analysis, the growth is going to happen in the strength and opportunity quadrant,
That's true.
not in the weakness quadrant. You hire to fill in around your weaknesses.
Agreed. All right, man. I love that philosophy.
But if you stake in selling, then you can't hire to do that.
And you know what, dude? That's a good point. Some people think they can.
Correct.
That's so true. All right, Dirk, for those people that want more information about your coaching, where do they go and visit? Is it just realestatechampions.com?
Realestatechampions.com.
Okay, and if you guys need the download, that free download that he had, which is great, I'm taking a look at it now, it's realestatechampions.com/LCA brush off. And you should be having it there. Dirk, thank you. This was super valuable. It's going to be replayed quite a few times. We'd love to have you back again. So,
hey, I'd love to come back.
I love it, dude.
Maybe we should talk about investment property.
You know what? Done. I'm going to book it with you this week. I'll let everybody know when. That's brilliant. Thank you.
My pleasure. Hey, this is all about creating wealth for people.
Exactly, man. I'm glad that's your approach, bro. Appreciate it. Have a great time over in Bend, Oregon.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.